now want to cast a spotlight on the issue of constituency project and the controversy embedded in the process. Since the inception of the idea of constituency projects under the Olusegun Obasanjo administration, everything about it has been downright controversial. In recent times, lawmakers have been accused of using constituency projects as a front to literally steal money from the coffers of government. Most times, funds allocated for constituency projects simply disappear into thin air while the projects are never executed. And in most of the cases, the people now for whom these projects are meant don't even know about the project, so cannot monitor it or even question their lawmakers over it. In fact, in most cases, the constituents don't even set eyes anymore on their lawmakers now after the elections. It is really that bad, but it's a fact. Now, we want to cast a spotlight on one constituency project that we have been investigating in collaboration with Order Paper, an online publication that developed an app called Constrak used in monitoring the performance of constituency projects across the country. The project in question is titled the Kwaku S-Dam Project, meant for the construction of an S-Dam in a very remote community known as Kwaku in the outskirts of Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. Now, the project was attracted by this man, Angulu Dobi, who represents Kuje Gwagwalada Abaji Kwali Federal Constituency in Nigeria's House of Representatives. It's one of the constituency projects approved in the 2016 federal budget and assigned to the Upper Niger Basin Development Authority under the Ministry of Water Resources for a sum of 150 million naira. And records show that 80% of that sum, which is around 120 million, has been released for the project. We decided to go in search of the project, and this is what we unearthed. Our team effectively began their journey at Kwaku community from this point, just off the Abuja-Lokoja Expressway, some 30 minutes drive away from the Abuja city center. Commercial motorcycles are the only means of transportation to Kwaku. The road is in a terrible shape and sometimes non-existent. The journey was as rough as you can imagine. At intervals, our team had to disembark from the bikes and trek over very marshy terrain. In case you're in doubt, this is actually part of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. After hours on the very bad road, our team arrived at Kwaku, a remote, sleepy rural community with a population of around 3,000.
There are three reasons why it is very difficult to dictate if a project is either executed or not in a community like this. One, the location of the project is totally off visibility. Now, it took us at least 2 hours on motorcycle to get to this location. Of course, the road is not motorable at all. And number two, no media house is ever likely to send a reporter here because of the cost, the safety, and the distance. So it is very difficult for a media house to send a reporter to verify either a project is executed or not. And the third reason is because the people have no access to amenities. They have no light, and so they do not have information. They don't even know which project has been allocated to their community, and they don't even know the channels by which they can complain either it is executed or not.
Led by the locals and the community, the team made its way through thick bush paths to where the constituency project was supposed to be sited. And this is what they found. It's not the S-Dam awarded for 150 million naira. This is a pond the local people constructed in collaboration with Fadama to retain water to assist farmers and boost agriculture in the community. It's nothing to do with the constituency project of their representative, Angulu Dobi, who the leaders of the community say they had not set their eyes on in a long while. In fact, they say our story is news to them.
We have never seen him. Me as a chief, I have never seen him once. Talk less of him to come and visit Kwaku. Since Honorable Angulu has won the election, we have never seen him here. Think about to send someone.
No, I'm not aware. I'm not aware. I'm not in picture of anything. They didn't consult us. That is how it is. They didn't consult us. I'd sit down and arrange anything about the second dam.
So the big question is, since this is not the Kwaku Earth Dam constituency project captured in the 2016 budget, then where is the project? To find answers, we headed to Nigeria's parliament, otherwise called the National Assembly, to speak with the man who represents Kwaku community in the House of Representatives and in whose name the project is attached, Honorable Angulu Dobi.
When I came in 2015, 2016 I had the intention of building an earth dam at Kwaku in Kuje area council, just like you said. The intention was a very good one, and I actually proposed that in my intervention project. But to my greatest, to the greatest disadvantage, disadvantage to me and the people of Kwaku, what happened was actually that a primary investigation was carried out at the area, and those teams are sent to even go and do the primary investigation, seriously and sincerely complain about the distance from the major road to the site. And this was supposed to happen during the rainy season, and possibility of moving their equipment to site was a big challenge. And immediately they came back and sat with me on the need to really discuss this and to have the understanding of this office, knowing fully that on their own they don't have the powers to propose or decide any change without the decision coming from this office. Yeah. Hence, the project was meant for Abuja South. And then look at quickly the needs to change such project to rural water scheme across the same Abuja South Federal Constituency. And I did not just start to think of making a change to such a project. I did a letter to the managing director of Upper Niger River Basin and Rural Development Authority, intimating them on the needs to change the project from Earth Dam to a rural water scheme. Okay. And believe me, if you go to most of these places, in virtually the area councils in Abuja South Federal Constituency benefited from this water scheme. What I did was to spread them across the area councils, and they were solar-powered boreholes at that time. This was actually what actually happened to the change, or reasons that gave birth to the change of the Earth Dam that was supposed to meet or to be built at Kwaku village.
The lawmaker's response leaves us surprised that he did not do the primary investigation before proposing the project in the first place, but only did so after it had been approved and awarded for construction at Kwaku. It's also a surprise because he, more than anyone else, should have known the Kwaku terrain better. And even though he says he wrote to the agency saddled with the responsibility of executing the project to change it to rural water scheme, the item is still captured in the 2016 budget as Kwaku Earth Dam project. And it also came true that he actually never consulted with the people of Kwaku before even proposing the Earth Dam project in the first place.
People were not consulted when I took that project to Kwaku. I did it on my own because I know the terrain very well, and I'm part of them. And because I'm not a professional in that line, I felt anything is possible. The intention was, if we are successful in building a dam, then we'll also encourage the youth across both youth, both the male and female, on irrigation farming. This was actually what gave me the distance to really do, or cite such project at Kwaku. But then my intention is because we are battling and we're struggling to make sure that the problem that has to do with terrain is solved, and how to solve it is to liaise with FCDA to see how they can construct the road from what's the name of this place? Quetta. From Quetta to Kwaku. So, except the road is motorable, is accessible, that one can achieve building an earth dam, one can also comfortably be able to achieve that aim of reducing job employment problem.
For someone who says he knows the terrain very well, the question then is, why did he have to arrange for a primary investigation after the project had been approved and in fact awarded? And in any case, if the lawmaker had consulted with the people, he sure would have found out that the community had already constructed a similar earth dam for exactly the same purpose by itself, with the assistance of Fadama.
I also feel that, yes, water is a necessity, and as such, we should change the project within the water scheme. And as such, that was why you can see that what I did was, from the earth dam was changed to rural water scheme. And in this case, it was supposed to be Kwaku, but more communities benefited from the water scheme.
If more communities benefited from the water scheme, Kwaku did not. The people told us no solar-powered borehole is sited in the community courtesy of Honorable Angulu. Our team even looked around and could not find any.
For the purpose of transparency, like you said, you have in mind, when I came in 2015, we had about 4 or 5 solar-powered boreholes. We'll tell you this was for 2015 and in social community. These were for 2016 and in social community. And you also allow you to go and have 1 or 2 interactions with the people of the village. It's allowed. You want me to go with you? I'll be the happiest person to go with you. Not like others, perhaps politicians who would just point and I will personally go with you. You see how I'm being loved by my people.
Well, we had an agreement with Honorable Angulu and indeed fixed a date to go along with him to the supposed communities where the solar-powered boreholes are sited. But he would later delegate it to one of his staff. And on the day we scheduled to go, that staff said he was ill. We're still waiting to get a new date for that visit. One more explanation we just need to make for you to get a clearer picture of why this is very important. I'm talking about the Kwaku Constituency project controversy now. Something you should know. Now, the Kwaku Constituency project was not the only project Honorable Angulu attracted in 2016. As a matter of fact, the total amount of projects he attracted to himself is 6 and valued at 730 million naira. So 6 constituency projects to his constituency for 730 million naira. And let's break that down so you clearly understand what we're talking about. Now, he got a construction of 8 solar-powered boreholes in rural communities that's of Kuje Area Council, that's of the FCT. Kuje Area Council is part of his constituency, and the agency, of course, that did that, that's the Upper Niger River Basin Development Agency. It was a Ministry of Water Resources, 85 million. That's the allocation he got for that. And then you have construction of 10 solar-powered boreholes in rural communities of Gwagwalada Area Council, the same agency, that for 105 million naira. Construction of 9 solar-powered boreholes in rural communities in Kwali Area Council, that for 95 million naira. And then same construction, 9 solar-powered boreholes for Abaji Area Council, 95 million naira. Now, for that of Kwaku, which is here, what Kwaku got was the construction of Earth Dam for 150 million naira. So, and what the lawmaker is basically telling us now is that, well, 150 million naira was approved for Kwaku, and that he decided to convert it to solar-powered boreholes, the kind of solar-powered boreholes that these other area councils got. Kuje got 8, as we explained. Gwagwalada got 10. Kwali got 9, and then Abaji Area Council got 9 as well. So what the lawmaker is basically saying is that this dam project for Kwaku, he didn't do it. He decided to change it to solar-powered borehole project. So the question is, where? Where? According to him, he said he distributed the solar-power boreholes now across the constituency. So it means, for example, Kuje Area Council that got 8, he decided to give them more. Same thing for Gwagwalada Gwagwalada, and of course Kwali, and then Abaji. So we are not so sure. The lawmaker has said he's going to take us to these places for us to see the project. The question is, how can we be absolutely sure that the projects, the solar power boreholes that he would show us, that if he does that eventually, would be the ones, would not be part of the ones now actually allocated to, for instance, say Kuje, because Kuje actually got 8. So we'll wait to see how all of these pans are. But it's quite curious that, he took the Earth Dam from Kwaku, and he decided to convert the project to solar-powered boreholes, but didn't bother at all to give Kwaku a single solar-powered borehole, but decided to give to the other area councils that already had solar-powered boreholes, at least on paper. They already had that allocated to them. So we'll wait and see how all of this pans out. We're still waiting for Honorable Angulu or his aide to take us to see some of these solar-powered boreholes that were actually originally, that were supposed to be for the Earth Dam project for Kwaku, that he's now converted to, of course, the solar-powered borehole water project.